question is, does these black men have the balls to get on camera or in the movie acting like a monkey? Black people have an issue with being called monkeys. This woman, and she was offended because they kept calling her a monkey. You know, so being called a monkey is a racist thing. And that's what I'm saying. I understand that, but at the same time, it comes to a point where you need to address the situation. Maybe addressing the situation or addressing that problem of feeling offended or feeling that way, you know, towards racism. You're never going to solve anything if you don't solve the problem. If you don't face the issue head on, you know. So maybe facing that issue with the past or how you've been treated, you know, in the past. Racism would be them having that courage to step out and jump on camera or jump in that movie and act like Tarzan. To my understanding, I just remember the cheetah coming in and attacking Tarzan's mother and father. I remember watching Tarzan, the actual movie. They did make a movie called Tarzan, but they didn't explain the mom and the dad. They kind of threw that part off and just made it all about Tarzan. So yeah, that would be. I would kind of address that with the mother and father. Like I said, the new remake of Tarzan was mostly about Tarzan. They pinpointed Tarzan. They focused on Tarzan, but they didn't really speak on what happened to the mom and dad. You know, what led up to that point. You know, why was Tarzan in the forest? Why did his mom and dad end up there in the middle of nowhere in the forest? Why did that happen in the first place? Why was Tarzan put there at first? Why was he basically forced in a situation of living with these apes and these gorillas, you know, identifying with these animals because he had no other choice. He didn't even know other humans existed until that. So yeah, my camera cut off. Tarzan didn't know other humans was in existence until, what's her name? I forget. I don't know her name. I can't remember her name until she showed up and her father and, you know, them being curious until they popped up. He didn't know that. But then that didn't give Tarzan a reason to go back either. If anything, he didn't choose to go back because what was the human showing Tarzan when he's seeing them for the first time? They didn't leave a good impression. They was shooting up the animals, you know, leaving Tarzan the question. You know, why are you doing this? This is my kind. You know, you're giving me the impression that, you know, my kind is not good. My kind is bad. Why would I go back with y'all or go back to, you know, where I'm supposed to be if this is who we are? I'd rather stay where I'm at than, you know, go to. It's like a danger zone. You're showing me we're dangerous. Our kind is dangerous. Why would I go back to that? So if you looked on in the movie, Tarzan and his wife did stay there. They didn't leave. They didn't leave. They stayed there. I might be talking about the cartoon version, but all of the versions just added, like, I don't know. I think he did stay there though. He did stay there. What's throwing me off is the new version of Tarzan, because in the new version, it's basically just showing Tarzan. They're trying to take control of the situation of his. They wrote a book about it, and they wanted to make a business deal or something with Tarzan. So yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch that. But eventually he did go back, and I was kind of confused. I'm like, because I did start seeing it in a different way. I'm like, oh wow, you know, they did play monkeys, you know, because at first when you go into the movie, when you go deep, I mean, when you start watching the movie and it start getting a little bit deep, you don't see the monkeys. It's like, where's the monkeys at? At first it's actually black people in cages. You know, these black people are seen as the animals, so it's like there's black people in cages. You see nothing but a whole bunch of black people in cages. And then when you go to the land, when they start approaching the land, that's when you start seeing the animals come into the movie. So it's like, you know, at first when I first seen it, I'm like, oh wow, so the animals were the black people. Because if you watch the original Tarzan, you don't see any black people in the Tarzan movie. So I'm like, oh, so black people were perceived as the animals in the cartoon, the animated version of Tarzan. So that's what actually first popped into my head. I was like, wow, I did not know that. But then, like I said, the movie got confusing for me, because then I seen the black people in cages, then I start seeing the animals. You know, when they came into on the land, there was animals. You know, there was the gorillas and there was the monkeys. But then, you know, so then I don't know. That's what I'm saying. The movie is confusing, because you can actually see as like, you know, is it going back to, you know, the slave trade, when, as you see in these black people in cages, but then when he's questioning a woman, he's actually talking about, you know, who are these people to you. So I feel like the real version of Tarzan, I'm gonna have to, I think I'm gonna go back and watch that movie. Yeah, because it kind of confused me. I'm actually see if I can get some video clippings of the Tarzan, so you can see what I'm talking about.
The jungle consumes everything. It preys on the old, the sick, the wounded. It preys on the weak. The method is strong.
The evil spirit, the ghost in the stone trees. No, I never started with that.
King of the jungle. Tarzan.